What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Football Chatbox. My name is Ryan, and welcome to podcast episode number 63. Also, the first podcast for the new season ahead of game week 1. I'm joined by Roy, who is coming in perfect timing with a lot of Arsenal news happening recently. So, we're going to discuss quite a bit of Arsenal discussion today. In terms of what FPL players to get. And also, this podcast will now be available on audio platforms as well, from Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and Google Podcast. So if we do, like, anytime in the video, hit a table with any data, I will try to explain it so that those on the audio podcast can listen and try and get an idea of what we're actually discussing as well. So shout out to everyone who's in the chat. Tin, Manon, welcome everyone. So first of all, Roy, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I can't wait for the new season to start.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not too long ago we're still doing the podcast for the previous season.
I know, right? Yeah, that's what. So, I mean, it's been a kind of a long holiday, but not really. Like, football is starting soon. Community Shield happening this Saturday against Manchester City, so that will give us probably a bit more information as well. And then obviously season starting next week, so lots to discuss. So let's get straight into it.
Let's do this.
All right. Now, first of all of this data that we take is from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. So if you do want to sign up, there's a 30% discount going on right now for preseason. So if anyone wants to sign up, feel free to use the links in the description after this podcast, so you guys can check it out. But yeah, all of the data from there. Let's get started. Now, this is the Gameweek 1 to 8 season ticker that I've done. So the reason I've done Gameweek 1 to 8 is because after Gameweek 8, we have the international break. So you have one international break, I believe, after Gameweek 4, and then the second one after Gameweek 8. And generally, people would potentially wildcard after that or during the second international break, probably. Some might also carry it a bit more further. Because this season, compared to maybe the last couple seasons, there is no stop, hopefully, no stop in the middle of the season where there's like a free wild card.
No World Cup. No World Cup anymore.
Exactly. No World Cup. Hopefully no COVID postponements, so people can't refresh their squads in the middle. So the gap between that first wild card and the second wild card might be a long time. So that means you kind of have to make sure you build your squad well for the start. So we'll go through each of the teams, and I've got like SofaScore open as well to have a look. But since Arsenal were like the discussion today morning because of certain Gabriel Jesus getting injured, which meant a lot of people's drafts had to go, bye-bye. Because Gabriel Jesus injured, Darwin Núñez didn't really start. He was on form previously for the last couple of preseason games, so he didn't start. So that threw a bit more problems. Nkunku picked up an injury, although I'm still not sure what the extent of his injuries. It seems like he's going to be okay, so that should hopefully be fine. But for the moment, seems like all the forwards are dropping like flies. But we'll talk about Arsenal. So far, what have been your thoughts on Arsenal in terms of their preseason and everything?
Trossard looked really, really sharp in all the games he played. And obviously Saka is the safest bet by far. But the fact that he didn't play the game against Monaco, there must be a reason for it.
Yeah.
I'm saving him for the Charity Shield, maybe, because he was playing every single game.
Yeah.
And he looked really, really good. Because Jesus is injured.
Yep.
So we could start thinking about who's going to play in his place. In my opinion, Trossard probably is more trusted than Nketiah. So I think what we're going to do is, if Martinelli is fit, he will be Martinelli on the left, Trossard up on top, Saka on the right, Kai Havertz in this number 8.
Yeah, where Xhaka used to play.
Then either Thomas Partey or Declan Rice play in that holding defensive midfield spot. I'm not too sure, because I'm more inclined to play Partey first then get Declan Rice slowly get into the team because he's still trying to find his feet, how the new system works. Because the game Partey played against the game before Monaco, and he played really, really, really well. I just think really depends on next week against Man City.
Yes.
Whatever team we play in that game, I think most likely they'll be playing the first game against Nottingham Forest.
So the Monaco game, so it was a 4-3-1. Now this one seems like a 4-3-1 based on what he's put, but it seems like a more slightly rotated lineup compared to what you're expecting maybe from City, because Fabio Vieira is playing, Smith Rowe is playing. You got a double pivot in maybe Declan Rice and Partey, and Nketiah is also up front. Now, in terms of those who came on, most of the main 11, I guess you could say, came on after about 60 minutes were gone by the looks of it. However, Saka didn't come on. Saka, I think, from the quotes I saw from Arteta, he mentioned something about him not feeling too well, so he didn't want to risk it. So I think he should still be fine ahead of the Community Shield, and that will probably give us a bit more information in terms of what Arsenal's main starting 11 could be like without Jesus ahead of the new season. Now, what we've done just to help is I've gone and had a look at, where is it? Let me change this. I've gone and had a look at last season, and this is after current, suggesting to compare how different Arsenal combinations worked in terms of attack and how the players kind of performed. Now we start with game week 1 to 16 where Gabriel Jesus was fit, right? And all of them had 14 starts except for Odegaard. I think he missed one. I don't know why really, but from that I've just done like XGI per start. And Jesus obviously 0.68, Martinelli 0.41, Odegaard 0.54, and Saka 0.47. So about half a return per start, kind of, in those 14 appearances. I've also added, so DD return is double-digit returns in those time. And then obviously the amount of goals and assists they all got. Now, once Gabriel Jesus got injured, Nketiah came in for a brief spell. And in that brief spell, Martinelli's XGI slightly improved, Odegaard's went slightly down, and Saka's went slightly up as well. But then, obviously, Nketiah wasn't really doing anything in terms of his returns. As you can see, 9 starts, 0 assists, 4 goals. So, and there's 4 goals. I think he got it in like a couple in the United game, and after that, he didn't really do much as well, if I'm not mistaken. So then he got replaced because Trossard came in, and Trossard started. So once Trossard started, Martinelli, you can see that like an even more bigger boost from 0.52 to 0.8 in terms of XGI. So almost a return a game. Odegaard also slightly improved. Saka went down slightly. Now, do you think Saka went down because like Trossard was getting into Saka's spots?
The left-hand side. No, Trossard mostly stay on the left-hand side combined with Martinelli. That's why it's all happening on the left.
Okay, so that because of that, Saka didn't really get much of the ball. So that showed a dip in Saka's performances slightly.
I explained it.
And then Gabriel Jesus came back 29 to 38, but the problem was that correlated with Arsenal's dip in performance at that latter end of the season as well. So most of Arsenal's numbers were down except for Trossard, who had I think it's slightly skewed because he came in when Martinelli got injured. So that's why you see Martinelli with 7 appearances. So the last 3 is where like Trossard kind of scored a few. And by then I think the pressure of the title race was off Arsenal as well. So then they did a bit more better in the last. So his numbers are slightly skewed in that specific perspective. But generally I think the numbers for Arsenal in general just dropped during that period. So the main 2 things to look at is probably Nketiah and then Trossard.
Correct.
So based off this, it seems like even though Trossard's XGIs were low, the others in terms of Martinelli and Odegaard did well. Saka slightly down. Do we? So does this put?
But
Let's
look
say
at Trossard's assists, right? Remember he had 9
7
assists or
assists.
10 assists in as many games,
Yeah.
and he didn't even start those games.
Mm.
In terms of the style of play, Trossard is more similar to Jesus.
Yeah.
And Kanté is more like a poacher. He will be in the box, finish the attack. Whereas Trossard and Jesus will come out of the box, come to the midfield, hold the ball, and make the play. Just get everyone else around them to play. Martinelli, for example, benefit a lot from Trossard and Jesus because they like to be on the left. Where Odegaard and Saka, they're mostly on the right. And Xhaka last year was mostly, right, I get you guys have the ball.
Yeah.
I'll burst into the box.
Yeah.
To add another body in the box. That's why he scored so many goals.
Yeah.
So from those early friendly games, and Nketiah didn't really do that much.
Yeah.
Whereas Trossard basically stars in most of the games he played, and they look really, really, really sharp. So I'm actually I'm quite 80% sure Trossard will play instead of Jesus, instead of Nketiah. Because that's how Arsenal plays. Because no one is in a set position. Everyone just floating around. You could see Havertz in a striking role at the back post. That he was told to do that every single game. But that's the strategy, right? All the little small technical players move the ball around to the left, to the right. Then ball comes into the box. Havertz finish the move. Or Jesus or Saka, because everyone can score. This is what you're going to see for Arsenal next year. We're not going to have a 25 goals scorer.
Yeah.
We're going to have 4 or 5, 15 or closer to 20 goals for these 5 players.
Yeah, so it's going to be shattered.
That is a strategy.
Yeah.
So which makes our job pretty hard to pick the ones that will score the goals.
Yes, from an FPL point of view.
Jesus is injured. He won't be back until end of September. By then, it takes longer for him to actually get back into the team.
Yeah.
I think Trossard's got a chance to really shine.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So that means, if you were to pick, so now there are options from draft perspective. People will go to, I've seen some drafts with like triple Arsenal attack where they had like 2 Arsenal midfield and Gabriel Jesus. Some had like double Arsenal attack with 1 defender. Let's focus on just the 2 Arsenal attackers for now. I guess Saka is 1, right?
Yeah.
So who would be that second one? Trossard?
I at this moment in time, it will be Trossard and Saka. Until I see who's going to play in the Charity Shield.
Okay.
I think that will tell you a lot. Even though it's a friendly game, but I think Arteta won't look at that game as a friendly game. They will want to make a mark. They will want to start the season strong in that game because it's against City. So I just think whoever starts in that game will start.
Okay.
My money is on Trossard and Saka at the moment, attacking wise. Okay,
cool. So that is something to kind of keep an eye out for, I guess, then for the Charity Shield. And then next week, we'll probably be able to see where Arsenal stand in terms of once we've got that information from the Charity Shield. So,
sounds like Monaco game, Arteta is trying to test out this Declan Rice and Partey combination. But I just think he really wants Partey at the moment. Partey is more superior in this system than Rice.
Yeah, that's the thing,
right?
We
spend £100 million on him, but I just don't think he's ready.
Yeah, because
Rice to do that role.
Yeah, because Rice has been used to playing way more deeper. The team that doesn't have the ball too much in West Ham. Now he's kind of switched probably to a team that now will have the ball way more. And he has to not only defend but also get involved more in attacking play as well.
Yeah, when he was in West Ham, he was Soucek is the one doing all the defending, right? He's at the back. He only goes up into the box in corners and free kicks. And he had more freedom because West Ham plays around Rice,
Mm-hmm.
but now he's one of the piece in the
Yes.
Arsenal
Fair enough.
team.
Mm-hmm.
So he will not be the focus. He will just do his part, which is what Partey did last year, which is a shield before the 4 defenders. So
Okay.
Arsenal's system is 5 attackers, 5 defenders.
Fair enough.
That's the job. That's the job description of Rice. Is just covers that and move the ball around, get the ball out from the back. Is more restricted in comparison to last year. His role, he was more free to do box to box, and now he's more set to this defensive midfield because Havertz is the one who will be in the other side's box, back post to finish off.
Do you see Havertz by any chance playing now? He has played that striker role for Chelsea before, but it seems like he's been drilled for the Xhaka role in this Arsenal system.
100%. That is set from the start. That's what Arteta bought him for, is to replace Xhaka, because Xhaka wasn't allowed to go until we signed Havertz. That was pretty clear from the start.
Okay, cool. So that he's going to play that number 8 then. Cool. So
he will not play as a striker.
Yeah.
But maybe in some games when we need to chase the game, maybe.
Yeah.
But I just think he's more suited for this.
For the
go
current
into
system.
the box.
Yeah. Okay.
Run to the box.
Yeah.
Stay in the midfield. Run to the box.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have to wait and see.
So he will be a surprise one. He will be surprised.
What...
I wouldn't be surprised if Havertz score goals, right?
Because of those late arrivals, like when you just mentioned, like Xhaka used to do that, right? When Trossard was linking up with. Okay, so maybe
that's exactly that's why he was signed him to do, is to arrive in the box late.
Yeah.
And especially in the back post. If you watch any Arsenal games, any attack, he's at the back post.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So something to kind of keep an eye out for that third Arsenal spot to see where it goes. I guess Community Shield will tell us a bit more in terms of what we're expecting. But for now, Saka and Trossard probably seem to be the main players to kind of target, I guess.
I mean, Odegaard is the safest, but he will play, right? He's the captain. He will play. But Saka's got the penalty, I think. So, I mean, by far, Saka is the most popular, I would imagine.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep. Okay, cool. So we'll kind of monitor and see. I still do like, it depends on Martinelli how he does, I guess. But his numbers look pretty good with Trossard there.
Correct.
So that's one thing to also kind of wait and see in terms of how he performs. Cool. So that's Arsenal. Defense, Saliba or Gabriel? Thoughts?
I think Gabriel's had the most goals or most attempt.
He probably headed goal. Yeah, XG. He had high XG for a defender.
Yeah, he's got the highest. So naturally, numbers tells a story. So Gabriel is much more superior from attacking sense. Saliba is pretty secure at the back.
Yeah,
doesn't really go into the box, attack the ball that much, and the header probably isn't his best attribute. So Gabriel, without a doubt.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's Arsenal. Now, moving back to the season ticker, I'm going to go to Chelsea right now. So now, Nkunku, I think he might be okay, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to switch it to, obviously, where is this? Not this one. SofaScore, back again. And we're going to go to Chelsea. Now, Jackson has been having a good season so far in terms of, good preseason in terms of scoring goals. They played Dortmund last, and that ended 1-1. I think this was a situation where the pitch wasn't that great, apparently. And so Nkunku came
I haven't seen a good pitch in America. I haven't seen one,
I don't know
actually.
I don't know if they were they playing this in America? I think they might have. I'm not sure. I heard something about pitch not being that great before the game started as well. But yeah, so in terms of the lineup, Chilwell and Reece James played. So I feel like these two might be the ones to play, but I had a conversation with a Chelsea fan recently, and the video is on the channel for anyone who didn't watch. So FPL Sidenet Pete, and he suggested Chilwell as probably the main Chelsea player to go for, and then after that, Nkunku, probably because he's going to be the talisman now. Nkunku has played here on the left; he was deployed, but if we go to the Newcastle game, I think he played more down the center.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's going to be playing regardless of wherever he's slotted towards now. That's what I'm expecting from Nkunku. If he starts, I'm probably going to go for him, but we'll have to kind of wait and monitor in terms of fitness. Now, have you managed to catch this thing on preseason vids? Or
I think I did watch the Chelsea Brighton game and Chelsea Newcastle game.
Yeah.
I really don't know because the new manager, pretty much new team, new players. I have no idea. I mean, preseasons are preseasons. So it's the real games, and that really tells you how they go. I mean, personally, I'm a bit cautious about Chelsea.
Fair enough.
Pochettino is a good manager, but does he got enough time to put his ideas into those players? And is another question, right?
Yes, because there's Liverpool and West Ham as the first two.
Yes, it's tough, eh?
Yeah, probably not the easiest. But if I go back to the ticker, it's after that the rest of the fixtures are pretty decent. Got Luton, Forest, Bournemouth, Villa, Fulham, Burnley. So I guess you can kind of wait before going on Chelsea players and then get to Chelsea players. And probably could do with that with the attack. I still like Chilwell as a defensive option.
True.
Because he's very attacking. So I think even if you want to get a defender, maybe he's okay, and then maybe attack, you kind of wait and see.
But what about Cucurella? Is he sort of like a...
So based off the conversation I had with Pete a couple days ago for Chelsea, it seems like he might potentially play, like if they play like a back three maybe, or like he's not going to overcome like Chilwell. Like Chilwell will probably be the number one spot. Cucurella isn't that great going forward.
And Reece James is nailed on. He's captain, isn't he?
Yeah, looks like it. So, and also, Poch has this system of bombing wingers in terms of one bombs forward, the other stays back. And we know Reece James is very well capable of. He's played at times in that like centre back role as well before. So he can, if both of them start, he can stay back if he needs to. So that's kind of, I guess we'll kind of monitor and see how it goes. But I feel like in terms of Chilwell, even in past seasons, he's been really good for points per minute as well. He's done really well in terms of attacking.
Agree.
So probably Chilwell, but then attacking wise, I guess people can wait and see, or they can go for Nkunku if they wanted to. City, Haaland, obviously.
Sorry, just one more point on Chelsea. I mean, they don't have any European games, so they can more focus on the Premier League. So that's just another thing to think about.
Yeah, exactly. Because Poch has enough time to like focus on the team and structure.
Yeah, but most of their players are not really Premier League proven players.
No, that's the problem.
So half of the team, that's the problem. I mean, they really, the intensity will be a bit totally different.
Yep, I agree. That's where like Chilwell probably proven Premier League, but everyone else is like up in there, kind of. Now City, obviously, I think we'll probably get a bit more information from City as well from the Charity Shield. But Haaland looks to be everyone's teams. Now the question is with regards to the midfield slot. Now KDB potentially I think is back, but I don't know if he came on for this one. No, not yet. So KDB potentially might be back. I don't know how fast. Whether we'll see him in the Charity Shield against Arsenal, we'll have to kind of wait and see. But Phil Foden seems to be someone who's been talked about a lot in terms of either, because Mahrez is gone right now, so people are like wondering where is exactly who's going to take that Mahrez role. Now Bernardo Silva could potentially play in that Mahrez role, or Foden in this position seems to have occupied it. But I think the one against Bayern was slightly different. Bernardo Silva took that role, but this was a more rotated team.
I feel like Bernardo Silva is more playing sort of Gundogan sort of.
Yeah, probably.
Role. Yeah.
So that's something we probably want to wait and see again. Charity Shield will tell us a bit more information in terms of like that City midfielder. In terms of defensive spots, they've got a really good run of fixtures. So everyone's looking for a defender. Any thoughts on defenders?
They just bought a new defender, didn't they?
Ooh, I don't know if they got Guardiola just yet. There was rumors about it. I am not really sure on that.
Is that the guy from Croatia? I thought that
Guardiola.
deal is.
I don't know if it's fully done. Someone in the chat might have to tell.
Yeah, I feel like that one's kind of a done deal. But then again, and John Stone probably is the one who's playing this weird center defender, but moving the ball forward sort of role. And I think he will be a good one to pick from the center defender point of view. And Kyle Walker, I don't know if he's still going to Bayern Munich. I think John Stones sort of he is nailed on playing. I think he will be the one I pick.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think for me Stones as well, probably. Wait and see how it goes though. The rest of like City, that City midfielder is one that I'm still waiting to see who would be the ideal one. And then I think I'll probably go towards United as well, just to touch on United. Now, based off what I've watched from preseason, and now it seems like he's kind of like spoken about a lot as well. I think Onana for goalkeeper might be a good shout. Now, there are a few other keepers as well, but I feel like this season, I don't know why, because maybe it's the fixtures, but there is no proper standout keeper for some reason. In terms of picking, like previously there were like good keepers that you would want to pick, but this time there is no proper standout keeper. Now, Onana came in the second half for this, but I feel like he could be... Actually, I should go to the Real Madrid one probably. He could be a good keeper for bonus points, potentially. Because of the amount of passes he does. It seems like he plays like that third centre-back, which I guess at Arsenal, Ramsdale sometimes does from playing at the back. You get Ederson from City. So bonus points potential, he could be one if United manage to keep a clean sheet. Apart from that, I think Rashford is still probably the best option. Although I feel like we're struggling to score goals, kind of.
Yeah, Bruno's got the penalties, right?
He's got the penalties, and the only problem is, apart from penalties, he's like even if he puts the ball in the box right now, United the players don't seem to be finishing chances. That's my kind of worry. Now they've signed a striker, and I don't think the striker will feature against Lens. Maybe against Atletico Bilbao, Højlund might play. But I don't know how good he's also going to be, like in terms of whether he's a raw talent, like how, like he's from Atalanta. He comes in he's usually like a 2 game per goal striker at the moment. So I don't know how that will impact in terms of FPL and in terms of United as well. So for me,
come to Premier League and for a young kid like that,
exactly,
it will be difficult to start.
So it's a completely different like ball game when it comes to the Premier League. So we kind of had to wait and see. For me, I think if I was to go right now, I currently would probably be Rashford, and probably Onana from a defensive point of view, just because I feel like goalkeeper options there aren't that many standouts. And then I'll probably wait for that third United attacker to see who actually it's going to be, whether it is a Rashford whether it's a Bruno Fernandes or a Højlund. Who like appears as an option. That's kind of one thing that I'm waiting to see.
What about Luke Shaw and Mason Mount? How did they play?
So Mount, it seems like Mason Mount sometimes... Now this one is not exactly accurate because Bruno Fernandes played on the right and Mason Mount was playing in the number 10. But it seems like he's more of like a slightly deeper player. He's playing like the Eriksen type role at times. Or also, if Bruno Fernandes is put in the right, he comes in at number 10. But in terms of attacking returns, I would probably still put Bruno higher than Mount in terms of FPL attacking returns. Luke Shaw still could be a really good option. And probably defensively, probably the best option for in the back four. If you wanted a fullback who would go attacking wise as well, probably get some attacking returns. The one thing is he's 0.5 more than Onana, and maybe that could work out. And I've seen Luke Shaw in quite a few drafts as well. But if you go for another keeper. Now, if you go for another keeper, people have gone for like Flecken from Brentford, although I'm not really sure because it feels like Flecken is still uncertain, like Brentford's keeper situation.
He's coming to Arsenal, isn't he?
That's Raya, right? Potentially. Yeah, we'll speak about that as well. But like, I feel like uncertain about other keepers that I think Onana is okay. And then I'm like, okay, do you really want to double up on United defense? Probably not. But if you're going for another keeper, then Luke Shaw could be a good option. I wouldn't go for any of the other defenders though, because Wan-Bissaka will potentially rotate with Dalot quite a lot. And then the centre backs aren't going to get you really like too many attacking returns.
True.
So I think wait for that third spot. I would keep a third spot open. Whether you go for Rashford or Bruno Fernandes in the midfield as one, I'm fine with that, regardless of who you go for potentially. But I'll probably keep that third spot open just in case to see whether it's a Højlund or any other United attacker that steps up. Yeah, that's kind of what I have at the moment. Apart from that, I think the other teams I'm going to keep it. Oh, Brentford. Now, obviously, Raya has been linked with Arsenal. And we spoke about Flecken. How do you think Ramsdale's position will be under threat if they do sign Raya?
No, I think there's a lot of discussion among Arsenal fans about how everyone see this. There's mixed views. I mean, for me, from personality point of view, I think Ramsdale is very liked by everyone in the club, by all the players, and they're similar style.
Yeah,
their styles are similar. Even if we do get Raya, it will be provide competition, and I can't see Raya go straight in at number one. I really can't see that. I think if we do buy him, it will be for one place in the cup, one place in Premier League, and just provide that competition. And if one really, really stands out, and that person becomes sort of the main guy, it rarely works in Premier League because there's always one main keeper. And the second keeper, most of the club is just secondary, right? It's just not on the same level because it's never worked. I don't see that happening because I don't see Brentford will let him go with less than £20 million.
Probably not. No.
Arsenal is not going to pay 40 million for him. That I do know because we need to sell to pay another 40 mil. I think they're talking. But if they're not willing to selling him for cheaper, Arsenal's not going to do it.
Okay. Guess something to kind of wait and see how it goes, I guess.
But his contract finished in 12 months, so Brentford has to think about it. If if he's not willing to sign a contract, they've already bought the goalkeeper, so they are probably ready to sell.
Well, there are a couple of other teams also looking for goalkeepers, so we don't know where he goes. Let's see.
He's going to stay in the Premier League. But most of the Premier League games, they got managers. Chelsea, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe, that's what so Chelsea have also been linked with Brighton's keeper, like Sanchez.
Because Sanchez is number 2 now.
Yeah, that's what. So we'll have to kind of wait and see on that as well. But even Spurs, I know they've signed Vicario, but I don't feel confident in Spurs' keeper as well. So maybe that's also something to kind of wait and see.
I don't know. I don't want any good players go to Spurs, and Raya I think is a good player.
Fair enough. But yeah, so we'll wait and monitor that situation. But that's just what I want to speak about today, mainly about Arsenal, because we still need to wait and see a bit more information. Now, there was a question in the chat with regards to Gabriel Jesus' replacement from Arsenal. We kind of spoke about that at the start and mentioned Trossard as an option, who most likely will be playing there, and then obviously wait and monitor the cup finals.
wait until Charity Shield.
Yeah.
My opinion is Trossard will play.
Yep.
Instead of Jesus.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's move to draft. Now, this was a draft you quickly put up.
Yes.
With no second thoughts too much about it, but quickly up here. Obviously things will change. What do you see changing?
So the key thing I did is I want to get Saka from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Gabriel from Arsenal.
Yeah.
I want Salah.
Yeah.
Rashford, Haaland, Watkins. So all these guys, in order to get these guys in the same team, it's gonna have to sacrifice, right?
Yeah. So you probably have to fix the others though. Other spots.
So you can see Bell is a cheap defender.
Yeah.
Andre Gomez is a cheap midfielder. And Vinicius is a cheap forward. So I had to go cheap on these guys. So I have a good 11.
Yeah.
Is my thinking process at the moment.
I'll give you a few options who play though in the midfield spots, for the cheap spots anyways. So West Ham have a 4.5 player. Mubama, I think. He's been playing in preseason, getting goals and all. I think he's 4.5. Bell could be one. Another one is from I think Sheffield United called Baldock. Got a few attacking returns as well in preseason. And then if you check Newcastle, Anderson is another player who's been having a really good preseason. Although, and he's 4.5 midfielder.
Yeah. Well, Newcastle is pretty stacked in their midfield.
Yeah. The only thing is, Tonali, I don't know where he's going to play yet. And whether he will take Anderson's spot or not. That's kind of one thing to keep in mind. But yeah, Mubambo is a forward. Yeah, for Vinicius. Mubambo instead of Vinicius for the forward spot. NCCO, you might want to get rid. He's not probably not going to play. So Mitoma might be the one you probably want. Or Solimatch. Mings, you could switch to potentially Matty Cash. 4.5, I think Matty Cash is. I don't know if Mings is the same amount.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I guess you'll be working on your draft soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll show you a draft that I've made at the moment. Now, this I discussed a couple days ago. I haven't changed it much. Now, I've got Onana in there for the reasons I mentioned in terms of bonus. Apparently Vinicius might get more game time than Mubama. Okay, something to kind of keep in mind. Now, I've put Onana in here for the reasons I mentioned.
Yeah.
I've got Saliba instead of Gabriel. Now, my reasoning for that is because before Saliba got injured, he was getting better bonus points at the time compared to Gabriel. Now, that's my main reasoning for going for Saliba, because I feel like goal threat is not something that will always appear for a defender.
Yeah.
That's one reason, and I feel like I can be slightly different there, even though Gabriel might have the better XG this thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It might be a slight risk, but I'm willing to take it and see. Chilwell, I've gone for recent stated, probably the best fullback, I think, from the available defensive options.
Yeah.
And Stones, because City defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
I've gone Foden, but that could change to anyone. I don't know who yet. Rashford is there. Mitoma, I think best Brighton option. And then Karan in the chat is also thinking Brighton, Mitoma could be the best, and then March could be a decent option as well. And then obviously Saka, because best Arsenal option for the moment. Visa, I've gone from Brentford. Now, some people have Mbeumo, and Mbeumo is on Pence. 6.5 million midfielder for Brentford, but Visa is leading the line while Tony is suspended, and Brentford have decent fixtures. And then I've got Nkunku and Haaland. That's my starting 11. Now,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see how things might. The one problem in here is no Salah.
No, yeah, I was gonna say it's no Liverpool player.
Yes, that's my only issue. And now, there was a question that Amit has brought in. Is it worth to go for Gakpo and Dar Darwin, and Haaland as a top 3 attacking for Game Week 2, because Game Week 2, Liverpool play Bournemouth. Now, Darwin didn't start today, but Gakpo started. Not today, I think yesterday or something. Darwin didn't start, but Gakpo started in the striker role. So I honestly don't know who's going to play that striker role for Liverpool at this point. So much rotation involved. And we did a video for Liverpool as well with the Chelsea one. And it's just like, I feel like Salah is the best option.
I think the fact that you're in doubt, that don't go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's proving.
Yeah. So I'm just like so confused as to like how to try and like get Salah and whatnot. I'm still not sure on that. And because of that, I went and did a Salah draft, like just before this podcast, and I came up with this. Now people in the chat.
It's quite similar to mine.
Yeah, people in the chat, feel free to criticize. But basically, for those who are in the audio podcast as well, the Salah draft was Onana in goal with Areola as the backup. I've got Stones, Gabriel. It's a 4-4-2 formation. I've got Stones, Gabriel, Estupinan, and Chilwell in the defense. I've got Estupinan because Brighton's first 3 fixtures are pretty good, so he's there. Then the midfield is Saka, Rashford, Mitoma, and Salah. And the up front is Haaland and Wissa. And then on the bench, you got Baldock, Anderson, and Mubama from West Ham. Now, obviously, maybe if Vinicius is probably going to get more minutes for the third forward spot, you could probably change it to him. But I feel like you're not going to use three bench options immediately, so it's not too much of a problem. But that's what I came up with. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this draft has 0.5 in the bank.
It's good. To give you some room to make changes.
Yeah, that's what, just in case if needed. The only thing here is there isn't, I guess, I don't know, it depends. If let's say if a second striker, right, becomes an option, switching to a second striker isn't as easy unless Salah doesn't perform. Then it's easy. Then you can move Salah off. But if, like, say, you're a Watkins or for Nkunku or Jackson, if one of them perform, then getting to them is a bit more harder. So it all depends on how Salah performs. But this is just to look at in terms of like Game Week 2. Maybe you could downgrade a defender to free up a bit more funds and keep 1 million in the bank if you wanted, just in case. But yeah, that's the current situation.
It's a good team.
Yeah.
Now we don't have Trent. Trent is proved to be too expensive now. Yeah.
So for me, my reasoning for Liverpool is I feel like they don't keep clean sheets. Even in preseason, they haven't really kept clean sheets properly. And I feel like it's too expensive. And if they're not going to keep clean sheets, not worth it for me at least. That's my current reasoning. But I think if you can get Salah, I'm happy with that though. But yeah, this is just a rough draft. Could change if anyone has any options.
Sure, it will change many times.
Yeah, that's what. There's a suggestion to switch Wissa to Mbeumo and play a 4-5-1. That's a possible. But then that means you have 2 strikers that you're not using. That's a possibility as well. And play like a 4. But yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see. And then obviously Foden's minutes, I think we'll wait and see. I think Foden should play. Confident on Foden as an option, FPL?
I don't know. I haven't watched them enough.
Yeah.
Foden's a really good player. I think he should be playing week in, week out. But Man City players don't do that.
Yeah, that's also true. Very true. Okay. Panel team. We'll wrap it up with the panel team. And hopefully that Salah draft helped people. Now, the panel team is where the Salah draft was. But for the panel's sake, this is usually a team that is a bit more risk oriented, or maybe not risk oriented, but like a team that we try to put players that we wouldn't put in our teams kind of situation.
Should we go for a team that no Haaland?
Oh, no. Really?
Just go completely against what everyone else is doing, so we can get Trent in. Get Trent, Salah.
I don't know if that is actually worth it though. That's overkill. Will welcome.
Just put it out there.
Yeah, maybe we'll consider it. Although I feel like that's suicide.
Well, like City might not be the same.
Nah. But we always think that, but they always find a way to win. Maybe we'll see, potentially. But I will keep him in for now.
Maybe we try to get Trent, Salah, and Haaland and Saka.
Okay, we can try that.
Yeah, let's go something a bit different,
Yeah. Karen is saying no, Haaland is a good idea. Oh no, Karen's going to be on next week. Also going to advocate this. Which draft am I leaning more towards? I have no idea. Okay, so you want to get Trent in? Ooh, I don't even know if that's possible. We'll see. Who do you remove? Chilwell, probably.
Yeah, Chilwell. Yeah, because I don't see Chelsea doing that well. So
yeah, for the first two at least.
What we need to get rid of? Do we need Rashford?
You can switch it to Bruno Fernandes if you wanted a United player.
Would that work?
No, we still need to downgrade elsewhere.
Oh,
minus
1.5. Wow.
You need to move this to a 4.5. So maybe you move Estupinan. Oh no. Maybe you move Stones to maybe Matty Cash.
Yeah.
Now you're 0.5.
So how what's the cheapest midfielder?
4.5.
Oh, okay. We can't get any cheaper.
No. 3.
Wait, Mitoma to someone else to Solly March?
No, Solly March is also, I think, 6.5. Yeah.
Almiron?
6.5.
Oh, 6.5. We need what, 6?
Yep. You need to down.
Gibbs White.
Nah, that's like, you need to play Gibbs White. Go Richarlison. Richarlison is 7.5. Unless you go Bruno Fernandes to Richarlison and don't play United at all. But I feel like you might want one United player at least.
I think
maybe United you go Onana down to
4.5.
A 4.5 keeper. Now, if
Martinez.
Maybe, or you could also go. Now, this is very dependent on if Sanchez gets a move to Chelsea, he could be a very interesting option.
Jason Steele.
We could do that for now, but the fixtures aren't great after. That's a problem. You could go Pickford if you want.
No way change, yeah.
You could Pickford.
I think Brighton is looking good. I like.
Yeah,
Brighton.
but they could be good, but they're conceding. They're conceding as well, which is I'm slightly worried about. We could do this if you wanted to. Where is this?
Yeah.
Pickford, decent, a bit more slightly decent.
Yeah, but Everton is shit.
Crystal Palace.
Oh, but they are very defensive minded now. So do you know what? Pickford for now is a good bet.
For Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
So this is
he's ultra defensive. I can see him getting a 2 or 3 clean sheet.
Yeah. But is this actually better?
It looks good. We're betting on Liverpool, aren't we?
Yeah. I don't know if I want to bet on Liverpool.
You're just being a United fan.
No, I think Will is in the chat. Will should back me up. He's a Liverpool fan. I don't know if we're going both Salah and Trent is a good idea.
Let's see what you can make changes next week.
Yeah, okay. We'll keep it like this for now. And we'll see what happens in terms of suggestions. Pickford have good fixtures, new managers. Yeah, that's true. Sean Dyche, a bit more defensive. So it'll end up being something like this.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, we will see how this goes next week. I feel like
I do see Liverpool beating Chelsea in the first game.
Interesting call.
Because I just feel like Liverpool, they must be pretty hurt from last season, and quietly, I think they must be working really, really hard. What's that preseason result? I haven't really
not
following
great.
them.
Not great. In terms of keeping clean sheets, not the best.
But they've been winning.
Yeah, they've been They have been winning. I wouldn't take
4-4. Jesus.
the
4-0 against Leicester.
where is this?
Lost to Bayern Munich 4-3.
No, but the loss to Bayern Munich happened. So they were, I think, 2-2, and then a lot of players came off for Liverpool during the, like, as you can see, 60-odd minute. And so there was quite a few changes for Liverpool by the time we went to 4-3. So I wouldn't look into that too much. But it's the ability to keep clean sheets is what I'm slightly worried about, which puts me off Trent.
Van Dijk is the captain now, so they still pretty much keep the last five defenders, or 4 defenders, 1 goalkeeper, pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Will I like that team.
We'll see. Will says, I think Trent is a worst FPL asset in the inverted role, and our defense is still ropey. More likely to get the assist for the assist. Okay, well, this is something to kind of consider next week as well. We'll think about it. And then,
remember, 2 seasons ago, everyone picks Trent.
I know, but that was 2 seasons ago. He was still like 7.5. And there was no 14 million Haaland. We had more money.
True.
Karan says go Pau Torres because Cash is not nailed. I think Cash played the last game, if I'm not mistaken. Aston Villa and scored a goal. If I wasn't... Did he play the last game? Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, yeah, he did. He scored a goal. I will add...
As a winger.
A wing back. There's 3-5-2, I think they were playing. I will add... Diaby is someone you might want to keep an eye out for from Aston Villa. Had a really good Bundesliga season last season. Could be a 6.5 as well. Could be a very interesting option to consider. Yeah. Okay, so we'll keep it as it is for now.
Yeah.
And next week we'll tinker with this a bit more, obviously.
Yeah.
And see. I feel like Trent is leaving. He's not making it. I think it's too expensive and not worth the money.
Keeping it for now, just for fun.
Yeah. I don't mind adding Diaby to this, but we'll look into that later. Cool. We'll end it there. So thank you to Roy as well. And for anyone who wants draft discussions and everything, we'll have a stream on Saturday, live stream, so we can discuss a lot of drafts and look at everyone's drafts there during that time. So I will be live on Saturday for everyone, same time as last week at 9 p.m. Sydney time. And then anyone wants to join can join and share your teams. But yeah, we'll stop it there. And thank you all for watching. To Karan, who says sometimes Konsa can play right back and Moreno will be attacking fullback. Okay, so we'll probably have to switch Matty Cash to Pau Torres from the looks of it. So we'll kind of make that move as well. But yeah, shout out to Karan, Will, Manan, Tin, Amit, Simonal, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and anyone else who's been watching as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Roy, and we'll see you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yes, I'll see you next on Saturday, and make sure to subscribe as well. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.
Bye bye.